Hi everybody, it's Amy from Indigo Junction. I'm here for a pattern review video. Today we're going to talk about the Petite Stitched Purse. So there's a couple unique things about this bag that I'm going to start out to share. First off, the handle. So you can see in this bag that what I'm going to show you is this way the handle slips through two little loops that then allow the bag to close really nicely and stay tight. Later I'll show you some options for a snap to go along with this closure. Side note, this is my fabric line from a few years ago, and it's based off the illustration from the Women's Institute, which my book Vintage Notions was based on. So this purse, where did I get the inspiration for this little closure? I wanted to share that with you first. This is the bag, and a vintage bag that I bought at an antique show, and you can see how this handle loops through this strap and then makes a really wonderful little satchel. So I just wanted to share that fun story behind this purse. Now, what do we use when we make this bag? What is this material that we've used? We recommend the Soft and Stable by Annie's or the Basel foam that you're familiar with. That makes a really nice structure for this bag. And so that's what we've used. And I'm going to show you another bag. This is a fabric line from Allison Glass, and it's called Hemisphere is the entire line. This particular print is really fun. It's a linen, and we did something unique here. You can have fun with the pocket. So there are instructions for a pocket, and you can see where we used a different color of the fabric. Same print, but in a different color to do the pocket. And again, the fun closure. Now, there's some possibilities always to be creative with this little bag. And the nice thing is it's a smaller canvas. So if you do something unique, you don't have to fill like a large canvas. You have a smaller surface area. And so one idea, in fact, thanks to my mom, Donna, thank you very much, had the idea to actually quilt this particular print. And this is what you can see here. You can see the texture of when we actually followed the lines and quilted it. Now, you'll also notice what she did here. You can see it from the back side, which might give you a better understanding too of what the airliner foam or the Soft and Stable material is that really makes that nice structure that we get with this bag. So one more of just general project or general fabric versions that we have. This is a wonderful print from another Allison Glass print. And I love the color we find in Allison's fabric. And this is just an amazing it's a little kind of seascape or a little just view that I think is fun. Mountains in the background, a little town, kind of a landscape. And look how cute this bag works up in that fabric. We did use a contrasting print from Allison for the lining and the strap. So keep that in mind. You can always use the lining and then use the lining as the strap if you want a little, variety and a little fun when you're making this bag. So next up, I'm going to show you a little bit about the closures. So again, this bag has a wonderful closure in itself with the strap. This is wonderful fabric, by the way, a bark cloth that Ella Blue sent us, and it's really a gorgeous fabric. And you can see we just lined it with a solid, but what we have here that you can't see is a hidden snap. So this is a great bag to go through that process and encase the magnet inside your lining. So that's what we did here. And you can see it's a nice strong magnet, but hidden from sight. So just very great to work with. I love these magnets. Next up, I'm going to show you a more traditional magnet. Again, another fabric combination that we thought you'd love to see. And this is your traditional snap magnet that we secure on the exterior of the bag. So that's your magnet, snap. And then last, I wanted to show you just an idea for a button that you could, and again, this is a Hoffman actually bark cloth that we, a line that we just love of theirs. But I wanted to add on a sample of how much fun stacking these buttons can. These are buttons from Dill, I believe, and we took 2 sizes and stacked them for this look, but you could also add like a loop closure and close the bag from the outside using buttons. So there you have the closures. Next up, we'll talk about the quilting. So this sample I'm sharing with you actually uses a grid quilting interfacing that has lines on it that was used to get the quilting perfected that we have on this. And this is a denim bag. This pattern can sew up wonderful in really cotton, denim, a variety of fabrics. And so what you see here, and you can see we did the positioned the grid on point or on diagonal, which I think is a unique interesting way to design the bag, and again with a little button accent. I have a couple more samples showing bags that we added quilting, because I really think this is again a fun and easy way to customize a bag just for you. This is a really cute plaid, and here I've added some lines that just follow the plaid, some quilting lines following the plaid, you can see there. This, again, another fun bag that is a cotton and steel print from maybe a year or 2 ago. And we were, again, able to follow the design and quilt. But I wanted you to see all these wonderful variations that look completely different depending on what fabric you choose for your purse. Lastly, this is a little more freehand quilt application where we're actually outlining the flowers in this bag. So the quilting is following the shape of the flower and the leaf and the stem. So this is a Joel Dewberry fabric that is one of my favorites. I treasure this fabric. We actually made a Sophia coat out of it that was just smashing. One last Petite Stitched Purse to share with you, and this is the one I wore this Christmas and received many compliments when I took this bag out for a little gala that we had here in Kansas City for Rightfully Sewn, which is a nonprofit that teaches women who are maybe at risk, living in shelters or just challenged economically. It teaches them the skills, and it's a program to teach them to sew, and then hopefully sewing can become a means for economic and improvement in their lives. So anyway, long story, but I wanted to get that in there. This bag is again a bark cloth from Ella Blue, and I love this metallic accent that you see on this print. And again, you can see where, and side note, my mom made this one too. She outlined the flowers, the roses, when she stitched and quilted this. And I love this bag. So thanks, Mom. So we're going to talk about stitching. There's 2 different options for you here. You can stitch by machine or add hand embroidery to the bag. So let's start out with by hand embroidery. I have 2 examples to share with you. This first one is actually inspired by our book, Stitch Style, our Indigo Junction book that features traceable designs and iron-on designs in the book. And you can see here the beautiful combination of color. And Robin stitched this up for us. She just did a gorgeous job. And we did it on actually a sanded denim Crossroads denim, and you can see on the front side we have this design from the book, and on the reverse we have a completely different design. But I think both of these sides just are really fun and interesting. Even just doing a running stitch and a less embroidery. Less can be more sometimes. So again, hand embroidery. Another option for hand embroidery is to actually embroider on top of fabric that maybe already has a design that you want to accentuate. And this is actually our fabric line we did with RJR a couple years ago, and it's Vintage Made Modern. And you can see here where the fabric actually had cross stitch printed on it, but then we went back in and added stitching. And particularly you can see it where we did it on this flower. We even did a really nice satin stitch on the center of the flower and then running stitches around all of the petals. So I'm going to flip it over because there's even more embroidery on the other side. Here, against the gingham was some line art that we then embroidered as well with just a running stitch and then some straight stitches. So here's some more of the little cross stitch we added by hand. But you can see we also quilted this following the pattern of the fabric. So that's hand embroidery. Now for machine embroidery, because all of us have all those wonderful stitches on our machines, but sometimes we just don't know what to do with them. So this bag is the answer to that. And you can see actually on the cover of the pattern, you'll see several of the designs on the cover show what I'm going to show you now, which is using machine stitches that are already on your sewing machine and essentially embroidering and making your own fabric kind of yourself. So you can either use, this is a purchase denim, just the blue on turquoise I think is really nice. And I'm going to also quickly show the strap here. You can see the stitch that we used, kind of a wave stitch when we folded over and stitched the strap. So you can do some fun things with the strap too. This bag is one of my favorites because it is recycled denim and has a surprise inside. It actually has, we used men's shirting for the lining. So we just took a man's shirt and cut it up and made the lining. And keep in mind you could use the pockets from the shirt as the pocket in your bag. And again, what I'm showing you is all of the different stitches coming up with a pattern you like and then repeating it a couple times. You can see how we've done that with this bag. And actually Jerry, who's done some designing with us, she originally came up with this idea for a couple of her patterns that you can find on our website. And one more, just one to show you the combination where you can combine the quilting and the stitching. So creative possibilities are endless for this pattern, and we wanted to inspire you with lots of samples in this pattern review. I hope you'll come back and join me again. Remember to sign up for our Indigo Junction and Amy Barickman newsletters so you keep up to date on everything that we have going. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell so you get notifications when we have a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.